Good morning. My Tabor City home here. Um, Coming at you this morning on a video that I really didn't want to make. And I got a message the other evening on YouTube, and it basically said, "Hey bud, you haven't posted a video in a couple weeks. What's up?" And you know, for the last couple of weeks, I've been extraordinarily busy. Initially, thought I was going to be busy for just a couple of days, and that I would be able to show you guys something pretty special at the end of that couple of days. And what started out as a dream slowly developed into a nightmare. And so basically, I went and got a puppy, and he was a mixed breed puppy. Nothing, no pedigree puppies for this family, I'll tell you that. But awesome little pup. Named Debo. Anybody knows me knows I'm a South Carolina Gamecock football fan. So Debo Samuels, it just, everything felt really right about it for me right from the beginning. And so I went and picked up this puppy. Was absolutely in love with the dude. He was about as chill and cool as you could be. Our other dog, Buster, he wore him out. He was just as energetic as you could get. And, one of the reasons I went and got the puppy is we had a lab named Remington who had a seizure disorder. And despite trying a lot of different things for Remington, we never were able to really capture the seizure disorder and get it to stop. The worst part about it was last June, I think, it was in the kitchen. Remington went into cardiac arrest and ended up doing CPR on him. Got him back after about 2 minutes of CPR, and got him back. He seemed fine and went to the vet. Everything checked out. Our best guess is that he choked on something, is why he went into cardiac arrest. But in June, he went into arrest, and by late September, he started having seizures. So, and Remington just, he was pretty regular. He would have a seizure about every 17 days. You could almost pretty much plan your calendar by it. And we, like I said, we tried a lot of different things. We went down a lot of paths trying to stop the seizures. And last month, consequently, I think 4 days maybe after, something like that, not very long after losing our Boston Terrier, who was just really old. She had stopped eating, stopped urinating, stopped everything. Remington went into a status seizure. Matter of fact, I was in the yard. I was working on building Chloe's headstone. Came in the house to find Remington having a seizure. Within 5 minutes, my wife came in, and he was still seizing, and that was extraordinarily unusual. Remington seizures normally would last about 30 seconds, take about a minute, 2 minutes to recover, and he was just in a status seizure. Being that we're in the country, the closest 24-hour vet to us is about an hour drive. So we put Remington in a van that we have and started heading towards the emergency vet. And unfortunately, by the time we got there, they said that his internal temperature was 109 degrees, and there was just nothing they could do for him. He was basically brain dead. They asked us if we wanted to sign a do not resuscitate order. I said absolutely. But before that even came into place, he went into arrest. Thankfully, my wife and I were able to be in the room with him as he took his last breath. That was very difficult. I really did. That dog was a goofball. He was a real goofball, and I really didn't understand how much I loved him until I sat there and watched him die, and then it just hit me like a ton of weight. So Buster is a great dog. And I really wanted another puppy, and I wanted somebody to be with Buster. We saw that with Remington. We had Remington by himself before we got Buster, and Remington's quality of life seemed better when Buster was here, because he had somebody to pal around with and chase and run and play and all that stuff. So I wanted to, Buster seemed to be kind of preoccupied with the fact that Remington wasn't around, and I wanted to get him a puppy to pal around with. So I went and picked up Debo, and the dog. I walked in the shelter, and I just said, sit, and he just sat, stared at me, and wagged his tail, and I was like, all right, let's go home. It really wasn't all that difficult. Brought him home, awesome dog, and 4 days after we got him, in the middle of the night, he started throwing up, having diarrhea, and really didn't understand it. Took him to the vet. Vet said he has parvo, and worked for several weeks, going back and forth to the vet, medicines, IVs, everything we could try, and it eventually just wasn't enough, and he was unable to really absorb any nutrients. The stomach lining had been so terribly fragged that he was unable to really absorb any nutrients, unable to feed, if you want to call it that. Lost a ton of body weight, and eventually the parvo just killed him. And so that's been very difficult. And I'd be honest with you, I like making the YouTube videos for you guys, and I really enjoy, the comments you guys put on about it helping you with this, or, hey, I appreciate you posting stuff about the backhoe or fixing this car or whatever. But all of that seemed really not terribly important when I was trying to help Debo. He was, for a dog that we only had for a very short period of time, he was very important. So, yeah, I haven't posted anything in several weeks. I haven't, because I was working on Debo and, trying to just care after him and clean up and do all the other things that you have to do when you have a puppy that has parvo. And it was one thing after another. The virus would start going away, and he would stop vomiting, and he would stop, throwing or having diarrhea. But then he's wasting away because he just can't get any nutrients in his stomach. So, it was just vet visit, medication, IVs, the whole 9 yards for a very long period of time. And eventually his suffering ended. We're going to get another puppy. We know for sure that we have parvovirus in our yard now, because we have a dog yard. We know for sure we have the parvovirus in our yard. We have to do some treatment on that and give it some time for the virus to subside. We have scrubbed our house left and right to make sure that we're getting that virus out of there. And our hearts are broken. We've lost 3 dogs in the case of a month, 6 weeks, and thankfully we still have the cats, and we still have Buster, and we still have a lot of love going on around here with pets. But we're gonna give it a little bit before we invest in another puppy. So anyways, I appreciate you guys understanding, and I'll get back to making videos at some point in time. I have a lot of projects that I need to do, so there will be more videos. I just needed to kind of take this time to work on Debo. I was really hoping to end up being able to show him to you in a different way, but anyways, God bless my Tabor City home here. Love your pets. They're not around forever, and they're pretty special. See.